Hi guys, how are you this Wednesday? If you don't know who I am, haven't seen me before, I'm Taylor from So What Box, and we're back at probably our third edition of our Wednesday live videos. I am starting to enjoy having this time with you guys, and I hope you are too. I'm hoping with these live videos that we can start talking about some fun silly topics or questions that you guys might have, that you just want somebody to talk about or kind of go over. So, today I've got this list of things that we're gonna be talking about, and them is going to be all about interfacing. So if you have any interfacing questions, you are in the right spot. We're gonna talk a little bit about that, including like some tips and tricks to use it. How do you decide what weight or type of interfacing to buy? So we're going to talk about that. If you guys have any questions that you want answered about that, go ahead and leave it in a comment below. I will see those comments come through and answer those. So yeah, that's coming up. Before we get too far into the meat of this video, do want to remind you guys that we had a giveaway going all week since last Wednesday's live video, and we're going to announce the winners today. That giveaway was you got entered if you commented on one of our posts and used the hashtag #SoWhatBox in your comment, and we had quite a few of you guys do that. I'd love to see a lot more start getting involved in discussions with us on social media or on this video. If you post anything, just use the hashtag #SoWhatBox, and that's gonna get you entered to win in next week's video as well. Now, anybody who did this over the last week was entered to win in this week's giveaway, and I do have the names of those people here, and we're going to announce those as winners at the end of this video. But moving forward, if you want to get entered into our weekly Wednesday giveaway drawing, just comment on anything in our Facebook group, which you can find by going to sewhatbox.com/group. That will direct you into the Facebook group. Comment on any posts that we make on Instagram or on Facebook, or even comment on our videos on YouTube. If you comment again, use this hashtag #SoWhatBox and in your comment, and that is going to get you entered to win in next week's Wednesday drawing. Um, you do need to make sure that you write something else along with that in the comments. So don't just leave a comment that says only #SoWhatBox. Facebook kind of gets mad at if they see that all the comments just have a hashtag. So do write a sentence or two in your comment, and then also use the hashtag #SoWhatBox, and that'll get you entered to win in next week's Wednesday giveaway. Okay, so what we're gonna do giveaway with announcements at the end of this video, which will probably be about a half hour. I do have a couple things that I wanna share with you guys, and I noticed that the one that I'm really excited about, I left over there in my purse. So bear with me while I rip over there. I'll be right back. Okay, I can't believe I forgot this. I have everything else grabbed. I have all my notes. It even says on my notes, "Hey, don't forget that in your purse." Well, hey, guess what? Blonde forgot that in my purse. Okay, so, um, by now you probably know that we have a, uh, Christmas Advent box that has been on sale, for the last month or so. Now, this is like the early bird thing, Christmas Advent box. This has 24 days worth of goodies. We also have a version that is, uh we have a version that is 12 day, like, 12 day of Christmas thing, and you can see those at soapbox.com/sale. However, the reason I am bringing this up is because I have a special sneak peek for you guys today. So this is a spoiler alert. If you do not want to know what is in the, Christmas Advent box, you are going to want to not watch this. So, brought um, brought something today that I want to show you that I'm super excited about that we found that we are putting in our Christmas Advent box. Now, again, a spoiler, so if you do not want to know, you're gonna probably want to, like, skip the next, 3 minutes or so of this video, and I'm gonna show you one of the things that we found that's going to go into the 24-day full-size advent calendar this Christmas. Now, this one won't be in the 12-day Christmas box, but it will be in the 24-day full-size advent calendar, and it is this tin. Now, how cute is this sewing tin? Perfect for storage, everybody has a tin that they put buttons or pins or something in your sewing or craft room. However, this gets even better because this tin is so big and perfect, but it also isn't just a tin. It is set tin. And the other one is, like, perfect for buttons, I think, because it has buttons on it, so you won't forget which, little tin you put your buttons in. So this set of I'm so excited, is going to be, one of the items in our 24, uh, day Christmas Advent box this year. So if you haven't gotten yours yet and this piques your interest a little bit, go to the sewwhatbox.com/sale, and there should be a link there for you to check out the advent calendar. That's the only place you're gonna be able to get these. And actually the manufacturer fees has stopped making them. We got the last 140 of these, tin sets that they're ever gonna make. So if you like this and you want these for storage in your sewing room, you are gonna want to get our Christmas Advent calendar, and you can get that at sewitbooks.com/sale. Again, this is one of the items in the 24-day, full Christmas Advent calendar, and not gonna be in the 12 months. Hi, Dorothy. Thanks. Yes, they are so cool. I really, want one, but unfortunately, there's none extra for me to keep. They're all destined to go into these Christmas boxes. So I hope that you guys can enjoy these. Okay, so go to this, sewitbox.com/sale if you haven't gotten your, advent calendar yet, and you can get that in one of the days. Okay, looking at my list, to talk about today. Let's see. Okay, now it's time to talk about interfacing tips. Um, what do you guys know about interfacing? Or what questions do you have about interfacing? Interfacing is usually something that people are a little bit, unsure about because it there's so many types. And what do you use it for? Do you use it for everything? Do you use it for nothing? When do you know how to use it? How do you know what kind to use for the project that you're making? So if you have any questions like this that you want answered, I'd love to answer those. Go ahead and leave them in the comment below, and I will get to those. But I do wanna just start out by showing you guys a couple different types of interfacing. So I think that you'll be able to see, like, the weight difference. Now, when we talk about weight when it comes to interfacing, it does mean how heavy they are, but an easier way to think about it is how thick they are. So the thicker the interfacing, the more heavy it is. Now you can think about that and it makes sense, right? A thicker piece of fabric is going to feel heavier than a thinner piece that's the same size. So that's why we say weight. So a heavier weight of interface is going to be thicker. Now you can feel that just by feeling these heavier weight interfacings are a lot, stiffer than the lighter weight ones. So this one, it pretty much is super light, but then this one here, this is a heavier version, and when I squish it together, it barely folds at all. It's really stiff. Like, the only reason it folds there is because I had folded it. If we stick this together right here, it's really stiff. And then you've got one that's in between, and it's, kind of a midweight. So you'll see that a lot, lightweight, heavyweight, and midweight when it comes to your interfacing. Now, interfacing's also called a stabilizer, and so if you ever see the term stabilizer thrown around, it's gonna be the same thing as interfacing. Um, and the reason is because interfacing is used to stabilize fabric. So basically, if you have a project that you're making out of fabric and you want it to be a little bit stiffer, you will want to put interfacing in that section that you want stiffer. The best way to think about it is, like a button-up shirt with a collar, not like a polo shirt, but more like, either a dress shirt or a western shirt. Those collars, right, they're stiffer than the rest of the fabric, but the whole shirt is made out of the same fabric. So how do they make those collars stiff? Well, the answer is interfacing. Now, the same thing can be said about, um, wedding dresses, right? The top of the wedding dress can be made out of the same thing as the bottom of the wedding dress, but the bottom of the wedding dress is very flowy and the top is very stiff. Now, part of that is due to some other stuff, but there is sew in interfacing in the tops of wedding dresses. I know because in a previous life, I used to make and work on wedding dresses. So, that interfacing is there to give more structure, more thickness, and more, um, toughness to a section of a project. Now, most of my, examples were in clothing, that's because that's what we're kind of used to, so it's an easy example, but, if you're making craft items, when would you want to use an interfacing? You would want to use the interfacing when the item that you're making, you want it to be stiffer or, um, just stiffer or more hefty to the feel. Um, just a reminder, I do see a couple of you guys jumped on live. If you have any interfacing questions, go ahead and put them in the comments below, and I'll try to get to those. So, if you're making something that you want to feel a little thick, like a table runner, for instance, you could, go get a thicker fabric like a duck cloth or a denim, but that would be a little bit weird for a tablecloth. So instead, you can just use, like your normal cotton quilting fabric, but see, this gets a little floppy for a table runner or like a placemat, right? So you would want to use some type of interfacing in here to kind of make this a little bit stiffer, so it didn't just look like a tablecloth, right? A cloth is supposed to be drapey and floppy, but a table runner is supposed to be a little bit more stiff. So that's where you use your interfacing. Now, how do you decide how thick of interfacing to use? Now, that's going to depend on 2 things. Number 1, a good rule of thumb is to never use interfacing that is thicker than the fabric that you are using. So I usually just go by feel. I feel this. If it's too thick, if interfacing is too much thicker than the, fabric, I usually will go down the size and use a thinner or lighter weight interfacing for that fabric. Now, the other thing to think about, though, is what is the end use of the project? For instance, if you're making a fabric basket, you're going to want that thing to stand up and have a shape. So you might not want to use this, interface here that doesn't have much shape, right? It just squishes. If you use this on your fabric basket, instead of sitting there like this, the basket would go fall over. So maybe you want something a little bit more heavier weight, right? This would hold its shape a lot better in a basket type situation. So those are the things to kind of think about. Now, um, one other thing that often confuses people with interfacing is fusible versus sew-in interfacing. Now, sew-in interfacing has been around forever. As the name implies, you sew in to the item. So it's like you just put an extra layer when you're sewing around. Now, these have their pros and cons. It's a little bit more difficult because you can't just iron it all together and make it stick. However, on items such as like a clothing item where it's used in a large section, so like wedding dress that I mentioned earlier, you wouldn't want to have fusible in your whole top of your wedding dress because it would just make it way too stiff. So want when you want some movement of your fabric, but you want it to be a little bit more stable, you want to use sew in interface. But if you want it to be stable, you don't really care about the movement of the fabric, maybe for like a tablecloth, not a tablecloth, a table runner, you don't care if that fabric doesn't need to move, it's just gonna sit on a table. Your fusible work just perfectly fine for that. So most of your craft items, fusible interfacing is going to work very well. Once you get into kind of like clothing items, you might wanna start thinking a little bit about sew-in interfacing. So now that we've reached that, uh, hi, how are you, Mercedes? Good to see you on the video. Let me know if you have any questions about interfacing as we're talking about this. Um, okay, so as we're talking about interfacing, we've talked about weight, and we've talked about sew-in versus fusible. Now, I'm going to go ahead and switch to my overhead camera back here so that I can kind of show you guys a couple tips on actually using um, some fusible um, interface. So give me a second while I switch. Okay, there we are. So we're over here at this camera, and I've got my hold on. Okay, sorry. Ah, okay, here we are. Got my 2 kinds of fusible interfacing. Now, the first question before we can use this is how do we know what side of this interfacing we should put down towards the fabric when we iron it on, right? Sew-in with a sew-in interfacing, you don't really need to know a right side or a wrong side because it's always on the inside of the finished product and it's just sewn in. But with this, the way that it's fusible is it has dry glue drops on one side. Now you don't want to get this backwards because then instead of having the glue facing the fabric, you have the glue facing the bottom of your iron. And you sure don't want to accidentally glue this onto your iron. Now, if you ever do get some of this residue on your iron as the side, you can use a like a dryer sheet that you would use when you're drying your clothes, and you can just use that to get this off. Sometimes I warm my iron up a little bit before using that. And obviously, I don't want to use my hand. I put the dryer sheet down here and I kind of rub it on there. All that fun costs. But if we make sure to put the correct side, the glue side, towards the fabric, we're not going to get that kind of funk on our iron. So how do we tell which side needs to be placed down? When you are looking at your fusible interface, and we have 2 kinds. Some, I know that you guys can't quite see this in the video, but some, like this one, have little glue dots. And when you feel both sides, you can feel one side is smooth and one side feels grainy. The grainy side is the one that has the dots of glue on it. So that is the side that needs to go towards your fabric. Now the other kind is kind of just like, not really dots, but just like, sprayed glue on, and let's see if I see here kind of how you can see a shine on this. That shininess is the glue. On this side, there is no shininess because there's no glue. So, you need to either look for the shininess or feel the dots, and those 2 are gonna be what show you which side has the glue, and that's the side that needs to go down towards your fabric. Now, the next thing is once this heats up, all that dried glue is gonna turn into liquid, and that's what makes it stick. And then it'll dry, and once it dries, it's already stuck, just like normal glue. But what happens if we put our iron on this with the interfacing face up? Especially if you have lightweight interfacing, this actual interfacing is so thin that these glue drops could seep up through the back of it and get stuck on your iron. So instead of doing that way, and in order to of our iron off, there's 2 things we can do. First, you can line your interfacing up with the top towards the fabric here, just like you want to put it on, and then just carefully grab it and turn it over, and then just press it from this side of the fabric. The heat is still going to go down through that fabric and, heat up that glue, and it'll still bond. Now, if that's too difficult, or maybe you have, like, a really big piece of fabric and interfacing that you're trying to stick together, that's where you can use a press cloth. Now, if you don't know what a press cloth is, basically this is a cotton, piece of material that is made to go between your fabric and your iron. Now it can be used for multiple reasons. First, it can be used to keep a hot iron from burning the fabric under here because it will burn this fabric first. You can see mine's kind of dirty. Some of these are actually burnt because I've been using this press cloth. But the other thing is protect your iron from this fabric underneath. So you can put your fusible interface facing down and cover it with this press cloth, and then heat it up. And then this press cloth works as a um, barrier between that glue and your iron so that it won't accidentally get stuck on there. So that is another way to do that. Now, if you don't have a press cloth, you can always use a scrap of 100% cotton fabric that you have lying around and just put that over the top. Or also, like Teflon paper works, have any kind of that baking, the baking paper that you put down instead of like Pam on your baking sheet so that things don't stick. Can't think of what that's called at the moment, but, if you have that and in a pinch, you can also use just regular inkjet printer paper and use that as a desktop as well. So, kind of my, tips and tricks on how to with fusible interfacing. So, if you have any questions that you want me to cover that I didn't talk about or any questions about what I did talk about with this, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I'd love to answer these for you. Okay, so let me switch back to, um, the view of my hello, I'm back. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful for you. Um, hopefully you feel a little bit more confident to, know the way around types of interfacing and how to use them. Um, I am talking about that kind of with you as well. It's fun to go into dive on stuff like this. And I think that we have a couple more things left on my list before we get to announcing the giveaway. Um, hi, Juanita. Good to see you. Join us. We're about to, um, oh, here's my list of winners. We're about to get around to the giveaway missed, and one if you're still watching, you're gonna want to stick around for that. Uh, let's see. I wanted to share some stuff with you guys before we got to announcing the giveaway. Um, and let's see. So if you don't know what So What is, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I would love to share with you. Basically, we're a sewing club, and we help people learn how to make fun projects. And so I wanted to share some of the cool projects that we have pictures sent in of. This was a sewing club member who made their project that this was for a KitchenAid mixer cover. I'll also say I have one that I use for covering my sewing machine, and it's actually the same perfect size. And also, just want to note that this particular sewist has a really, really good talent of taking pictures. Love these pictures. We also had somebody recently who found this pattern from our archives and made this really cool fanny pack pouch. This looks flat, but it is a special pattern that makes it so that when you put stuff in there, it kind of like poofs out. It's really cool. And then this sewing club member got one of our project kits to make a summer waterproof bag and went crazy and made a bunch of them for her grandkids. That is so cool to see. And then finally, I wanted to show this member make, and this is a sewing club member that made this really cool pouch with a strap and a little chapstick holder. I actually have a post that I made, and I use it so often, especially when I don't want to carry my purse around. So if one of those pictures was your project, congratulations, you're doing a great job. If it wasn't, and you want to share your sewing journeys or what projects you've made lately, go ahead and share it in our Sew What Box Club sewing group on Facebook. You can get there by going here, sewwhatbox.com/group. That will redirect you to the Facebook group, and there's a bunch of people in there that love to talk about sewing and love to be excited for the projects that you made. So go ahead and post your projects in there, or if you have any questions, you can post in there as well. Okay, so the thing that you all have been waiting for, the giveaway. So we're going to announce our giveaway for the week. As a reminder, this was for an extra goodie put into your next So What Box box shipment. So most of you guys, that would be next month, which is already September. So the winners of this will get an extra goodie in their next box shipment. And to be entered, all they had to do was go and comment on any post or anything in our social media with the hashtag #SoWhatBox. So we went through all those people who commented with that, came up with 4 winners. The winners this week are Allison D, Juanita Young, if you're still watching, congratulations. Carrie, Karen. Now, all of those people do have sewing club memberships with us, so you don't need to do anything else if you are one of the winners. You will automatically be given your extra goodie in your next box shipment. And awesome! Glad to see that you made it, Allison. And yay, Juanita. Oh, Allison, glad to hear that you like making these with your dog. That's so much fun. What a great bonding time. Okay, so like I mentioned, you guys are gonna get your extra goodies for free in your next box, and we're just gonna ship them out with that, which actually is almost the end of the month. I can't believe it. So those are gonna be going out probably in a week and a half or 2 weeks, so you should be getting those soon. Now, we're gonna be doing another drawing and giveaway, for next week's we'll announce it on our next week, Wednesday live. So, if you wanna get in on this action, which you really are gonna want to, you want to go and comment on any of our posts on social media, Instagram, Facebook, even YouTube, or in our Facebook and use the hashtag #box. However, Facebook does not like when you see a lot of comments on something with just hashtags. They think it's spam and they'll flag spam. So instead, go ahead and type a sentence and then just add this hashtag to the end of that. So if you see somebody posted something, like a picture of a project they made, you can say, "Hey, you did a good job. I love it." Hashtag so and when inside of our Sewing Club group on Facebook, that's gonna give you an entry in next week's drawing. So tell all your friends, comment as many times as you want with the hashtag #WhatBox, and that entered into the giveaway next week. If you need, to know how to get to the Facebook group so that you can start commenting and entering, here is the link to where you can get there. You can go to sewwhatbox.com/group, and that will just redirect you to the Facebook group. It's a lot easier than typing in all the weird numbers and stuff that Facebook has to, get you to that URL. And so you can go there, comment, and hit enter. Just remember to use that hashtag #SewWhatBox in your comments, and get you entered for the drawing for next week. So again, congrats to these 4 people who won, and, we will be putting those extra goodies in your next box that we send out. Okay, guys, before I let you go oops, wrong button. I'm gonna double check and make sure I don't have any other comments to get to. Hi, Stella, from you, Allison. She's 6, it's more chaos than watching, but she's funny. That's funny. You'll look back on it and you will cherish that, and I know that you will as well. I know when I was that young, I was sewing with my mom, and it's really what got me into what I'm doing now, and so, I think that she probably will, look back on that and enjoy it a lot more than you think that she might. So keep up the, good work, Allison. How exciting, guys! Well, it's good to hang out with you. I do hope to be doing live Wednesday videos every week like I've been mentioning, but I'm just not sure what time is best for everyone, so it's kind of been sporadic the last few weeks. So if you are watching this, I see you. Go ahead and comment below on what time during Wednesday would be best for you if we continue to do our live videos, which we will. So comment with the best time. And I see you, Mindy. Hi. Go ahead and comment below with the best time that you'd like for us to go live in the future. I am going to end this live video, but you should be able to still comment and let us know. If not, go ahead and shoot us a quick message to our Facebook page, and we'd love to see that feedback on what time works best for these Wednesday live videos so that you can get the most out of it and so I can see more of your guys' wonderful faces here in this live video each week. Okay, guys, it was nice to see you, and I so hope that you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. Don't forget to go comment on all of those posts with the hashtag #SewWhatBox in order to get entered for next week's live giveaway. All right, guys. Bye.